people who can't be on the call, so it will be recorded. If you speak up, they will hear you. But hey, no problem if you want to do that. But just an FYI. The second thing is, if you've got questions, drop those in the chat. Chelsea is going to be, and I'm not sure if Nia's joined us or not. Sometimes Nia joins us as well, who's our sales admin.
Yes, she'll
Is
be
she
on in
here?
a second, I think. I think
Okay.
she's just joining. Yeah, she's connecting.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So she's joining us as well. If you have a question, drop it in the chat. They may answer it in the chat. They may ask it to me to to talk about it to the whole team. All right. Or if you're slightly more bold, you're 100% allowed to just speak it, talk out loud. All right. And
on the other hand, too, if you want to send us like so sorry, Adam, if you want to send like an message to the @frontrunner on here, maybe you want it to be private, then you're welcome to do that too, and we'll get to those as well for you.
Awesome. Great. But hey, you are at the right place for training, especially if you just started with FrontRunner. Again, hey, drop where you're at in the chat. We would love to know. I think we've got some from Colorado, some from Georgia, Woodland Hills, Houston, New Jersey. So hey, awesome. So glad you guys have joined. All right, so let's get right into it. First things first, let me share my screen. Chelsea, you can let me know if you see my screen right there. Got it? Yes, you see it, Chelsea?
Yep, I see it.
All right, awesome. Hey, so I'm going to start right from the beginning. Again, the first 20 minutes is going to be real focused on team members. And as I talk about this, know that I'm going to be specifically, a lot of it is going to be, feels like it's going to be geared towards your sales team. But if you're, service retention team, again, whatever you call your, you name it in your office, there will be things there for you as well. So first things first, hopefully you have already got your login credentials. If you haven't, if your account has been built out already, you've got those in an email, and it'll tell you exactly what your username and password is. If you don't have it, ask your agent. If you don't have it, you can always reach out to us and we can get you your username and password. Or right from the sign in screen, you can also click forgot password, put in your email address, and it will email you a brand new password. All right. Hey, also, if you got that welcome email, you should have gotten 3 really important videos. The first was the team member training video, which is going to be a lot of what we actually, it's going to be exactly what we cover in today's live training. So if you forget something or want to review it again, team members, or somebody wasn't here, go check out that team member training video. Then there's also an agent and an office manager or admin training video. There's actually 2 of those videos for you all that you can check out as well in that welcome area. Those videos are also going to be found in our help articles as well. So these live trainings that we've been doing for a few years, we try to tape a lot of them. The best ones that we have are going to be found right in your help articles. Now, so this is also a great place here. If you don't know, if you've forgotten your password or something, you can always do a password reset. So I encourage you to come and check that out right here. But again, we can always assist you as well. Also know that your agent or an office manager can reset it in step number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get logged in here. I'm going to use the agent@gmail.com. I promise you, I actually don't have that email address. I wish I did, because I would 100% sell it. But I don't have that. We just kind of made it up and made it work for our system. But now you're looking at our dashboard. All right. Now, before I go any further, FrontRunner is fully customizable, right? So your dashboard might look different than my dashboard. Agents, in our training portion, I'm going to show you how to modify and change your dashboard a little bit. So, and again, you can move things up and down, turn things on and off. So if your dashboard doesn't look like mine, don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with your system. It's just how your agent, your office manager has it configured. All right. Now, the most important thing, FrontRunner, listen to me, the most important thing is that FrontRunner is best used when you interact with it all day. All right. The offices that love it, that engage it, that see their sales and see things grow, is that their team has FrontRunner up all day. So what most often happens is that you're going to have your CRM up right in a tab, and then you're going to have FrontRunner in another tab. And so the point of it is that you would be logging activities, putting in your sales, looking at reports throughout the day. If you wait till the end of the day to enter all your data, or if you do it once or twice a week, I'll be really direct. The program's almost pointless for your agent, because the idea is that they would be able to log in any time of the day and see what's happening in the office. And for you, you will be able to log in and get some really important information that will help you to be an even better team member than you already are, right? So interact with it all day. The most effective team members are doing that right now with FrontRunner. So I'm going to cover 3 quick things for team members. The first is how to clock in and clock out and use PTO. I know not all of you use PTO and clock in and out. Don't worry, we're not going to be on it very long. So don't go anywhere. Again, we're not going to be on that long. But here's how it works. Okay, if your agent is wanting you to clock in and out, you're going to see a button right here. And to start your day, you're just going to come in and click clock in. It's going to capture the time that you started. And then you're going to see your clock ins right here on our time clock and PTO dashboard. So when it's time to go on break or clock out for the day, just go ahead and hit clock out. It will register the amount of hours that you worked and the amount of, it'll populate all the time, all that good stuff. If you're like me, sometimes you forget to clock in, you come in, you get talking, you're goofing off, you're talking about LeBron breaking the scoring record or what on planet Earth happened at the Grammys the other night, and you just forget to clock in, right? So if you do, you can always click new clock in, and your name will come up. So there's Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was out fighting evil, so he forgot to clock in. And then it's going to be a date. It's going to make you put a time in and a time out. So this is obviously messy. And what's going to happen if you clock in this way, it's going to put it into a pending status. In other words, those hours are not going to be in your total until an agent or an office manager approves them. So I always say, do the automatic clock in, which is the button, as much as you can. But when you do this, make sure to let who's ever approving those hours know that you've got hours to approve. They will be notified if they've got hours to approve up here, but it's always helpful to try to clock in using the button. And you're going to see that right inside of here. And so it's easy to filter and see how many hours you've worked and all that good stuff. Now, also, you're going to notice I'm logged in as an administrator, so I can see everybody's stuff. All right, Donald Duck, John Legend, my 2-year-old daughter. Okay, they're all in there. But as a team member, you can probably only see yourself. So just know that team members are not going to see everybody's clock ins and stuff. The next part of this is PTO. A lot of you will track PTO. And so your agent has set up PTO categories. You know, maybe it's just called PTO, or it's called vacation, sick holiday, whatever it's called. And they've given you a total amount of days or hours that you have available, unless you're accruing time, which is something different. What you're going to log in, you're going to see how many days you have available to take. And then to make a request, just click new request. Boom. It pops right up. You're going to choose days or hours. You're going to choose a time from and to. And then you're going to choose what bucket it's coming from. Now, I'm going to show you something. This is a really common question that we get. They say, Adam, I need to take off vacation days. But do you see where you can't select it as paid? The reason is because you don't have any days available for that. But if we switched over to personal, now you can see that you've got days available. So if you are trying to take off sick or vacation or something that you don't have any days available, it's going to gray it out and make you mark it as unpaid. If you think that's incorrect, again, talk to your agent or your office manager, and they can easily correct it. And we're going to show agents and office managers how to do that in our later training today. So give a reason, because I'm tired of you. Chelsea, are you ever tired of me? I'm sure you are. But because I'm tired of you, and hit save.
I think at this point I'm just tired.
What's that?
I said just tired at this point.
You're just tired.
I'm
Not
tired of you, Adam.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get to the story later. So what's going to happen is that's going to put it as a pending request right here inside of the PTO request. Your then agent office manager is going to be able to go and look and see that they have a pending request. They're going to get a little notification as well, and an email that they have a pending request. Then you're like, oh wait, hey, why does Bruce Lee, why does FrontRunner want to take off? Because I'm tired of you. Touche. Great. Okay. Then they're going to be able to approve it or deny it. And if they approve it, it's going to drop it on to a PTO and time off calendar. Now, by default, you as team members will not see this calendar. But your agent can allow you to see the time off calendar, because the time off calendar puts all of your team on that calendar so that you can see when everybody's off. So a lot of agents like to activate this for their team members, because you can see, hey, if I want to ask off July 10th through the 17th, well, if you see there's 3 other team members already asked off, you may want to try to schedule your vacation for a different week, because that's a pretty high probability that it might get denied. So that's, again, you will not see this calendar until they turn it on for you, but I'm actually going to show how agents how to do that in the next part of training. So that's about it. Clocking in and out, put in your PTO request, and see how many you have left and see how many hours you've worked. So any questions on that before I move on to the next most important part of this? Any questions, Chelsea? I can help with them?
Yeah, someone was asking if they were allowed to edit the time, which I did answer in here, but if you want to maybe touch on that.
Yeah, sure. So you can edit the time, no problem. So like if you went ahead and clocked in and clocked out, but you really started an hour earlier, you can go ahead and edit. It will put that into a pending status, right? So somebody will have to approve that. But that's a great question. You can edit time that you are. So if I clocked in at 1 o'clock, not 1:12, I can always click edit and then pop it in for 1 o'clock. Okay, it's going to automatically approve this for me because I'm an administrator. But if I were not an administrator, it would put it into a pending status. So that's a great question. Any other questions on this piece?
One other question was, if they leave early, can they clock out and say that they're sick and that go towards the PTO? And I did answer that too. That you can request off by hours too,
You sure
well
can.
as days.
Yep. So if you're sick, you just hit clock out, go in here to new request, and then put 2 hours or 3 hours of PTO. And then I would obviously make sure to check with them before you walk out. But sometimes if you're like me, I'm sick. And when I'm sick, I'm telling you, I am sick, right? Like a common cold is sick. Ask my wife. I am sick. But so sometimes I'm not going to remember to request off the hours. No problem. You can come in the next day and request something from the day previous or from 2 or 3 days previous. So you can request time off that's already happened. Great question. All right, so let me move over here. The second part is putting in your sales. So I'm going to come over here to the sales tab. Again, the most important part of this, please hear me, it's so important. Put them in as soon as you put them into your CRM. Please, please, please do not wait until like a week or 2 weeks. If you do that, the program is almost pointless because it doesn't give your agent real-time status on how you're doing. And you don't know how you're doing. So please, it makes it real simple and quick. Pop them into your CRM, whatever process you have to submit the app, then come over here. Now watch, FrontRunner is owned by agents. It's owned by insurance agents. And so the last thing that they wanted to do, and Aaron's on here, he can testify to this, the last thing that they want to do is just doing a bunch of double entry. So we've tried to reduce this down as much as possible. So what you're going to do is, let's just say you're writing 2 cars and a homeowner's for the same household. So you're going to go to the sales page. If you are a MOA, you're going to select which office you're writing it for. And then you're going to put in the first name and last. All right, no zip code. It's going to be, now don't worry about the issue date. I was just demonstrating one day on how to change that. That should say written by. Chelsea, do you mind going in the settings and changing that for me?
Sure.
Every time I do a demo, I leave it there. I need to change it.
I know. Someone mentioned it the other day, and I was like, oh, that's
yeah. I was just
there.
showing how to change the form. I was showing her how powerful. Chelsea, go change that for me really quick. This will say written by.
I'm on it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And you'll choose it'll already be written for yourself. If you are an admin or if you have privileges, you might be able to write for, Michael Jackson or something, but you'll probably only be able to write for yourself. Okay. Put in an issue date. Okay. Or submitted date, right? I know we use some different terminology. Now there's no issue date yet. Why? Because you're putting them in as soon as you write them. Some offices I know want to pay on written. So if you pay on written, then you're going to have to put an issue date in there. But most often you're not going to put an issue date yet. Okay, it's a new policy, but this is where you would make it added or reinstated or transfer. Okay, and then the policy type, we're going to say it's a private passenger. Maybe it came from A call-in agents, you can customize these. I'm going to show you that in agent training. And we're going to say the prior insurance was, I don't know, Allstate. So semi-annual, and then we're going to say the premium was $500, no issue premium. And then I like to put in the little note section, yours probably says notes. Again, agents, you can change what this says. I'm going to put the car type. That was the Honda, and hit save. Now watch what happens. Do you see where it says sale successfully created? But did you notice it doesn't clear the form? That's so you don't have to re-enter first name, last name, source type, any of those things, prior insurance, because that's probably going to be the same. All you got to do is for that second car, change the premium to the second car, change what kind of car it was. That was the BMW, and hit save. Boom. You've just put in 2 cars for the same household, but you have that homeowners. So again, the form doesn't clear. Come up to the top, choose fire. You'll notice that the name stays the same, the office you're writing it for, but the policy types have now changed. So you can then select whatever, whether it was a renter or homeowners or, you know, flood or whatever it is you're writing. And I'm going to change it to my homeowners, and then I'm going to clear that car note. And that's it. And you can do that over and over and over again. It really is super fast. This is the #1 concern that team members and agents have when they come to Front Runners. Adam, I'm already putting all my sales into our CRM. I've got to come here and do it. The answer is yes. But actually, most agents and team members that are concerned about it end up liking it. #1, because when they do it consistently, that it's super fast. We found that a team member writing an average of 50 apps a month will spend less than 20 minutes putting in their sales if they do it while they're submitting it. If you wait till like the end of the month or the end of the week, then it becomes kind of tough because you have to print them off from somewhere. You're kind of looking at them, trying to type them in, versus having your CRM or wherever you submitted that up in a tab or on your second screen. You're then typing into Front Runner, the app that you just submitted, boom, it's in Front Runner, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So, and they also like putting their sales in because they can control what goes in. So that's important as well, versus it coming over automatically from a CRM. There's been lots of problems with that with other providers. Will we be integrated into some CRMs at some point? Probably, but you will always have the choice, agents, of whether you want to be integrated. But I know agents that never want to integrate ever again, because for the second reason is that when they integrate, it sometimes stops team members from coming to the platform. They're like, well, my sales are coming over automatically, so why do I need to check it? So what happens? All kinds of mistakes happen because the transfer doesn't happen properly. They don't use the reports. They don't track activities. And basically you're paying for a big old calculator. Front Runner is way more powerful than that. So that's why agents love having their team put the sales in. Then they populate to a nice organized list below. It's easy to search for the policy name, policy month, date. You can filter it by only written, only issued. But it's great when it comes time to issue those policies. There's going to be, and again, this is just a demo account, so I've just got lots of crazy stuff on here. Let me go find. Yep, like this one. If this policy was ready to issue, if the premium doesn't change on issuance, all you have to do is click issue sale, click that little checkbox, and it's going to issue the sale. And for that same date, it'll take the written premium over to the issued premium and send it over to your bonus dashboard. If the premium does change, it rates higher or lower or whatever it is, find the policy when it issues, click edit, and then you'll put in the issue date. So let's say the issue date's today, and then how much the actual premium was. So leave the written premium in the box, but over here on the issued premium, put what it actually issued at. So 2010, just like that, and hit update. Oh, I have to click my source type. Boom, that's it. So now I've issued that policy. It then goes over to the bonus dashboard to be paid, which, by the way, is every team member's favorite place to go. And it's every agent's team member a place to go because it saves agents a ton of time, and team members, it motivates you so you can see your bonuses and commission in real time as well. So let me go over there. I know we've got some questions, but I do want to get to a couple of other parts. So this is your bonus dashboard, team members. When you start qualifying for a bonus, you're going to see it in real time right here. I'm going to go back again just because we use this as a demo account. But what you're going to see on the bonus page is that once you issue your sales, that will pop into this dashboard. And depending on whatever bonus plan you're on, your bonus or commission will start to calculate right here. We use the word bonus and commission interchangeably. I know a lot of the offices, commissions different than bonus is different than commission. Totally understand that. We use them interchangeably. So if you have something that's a bonus but not a commission, don't take what I'm saying here as, well, my commission should not be there, or bonus should not be there. We use the word for as the same. Makes sense? So you're going to see your bonus, commission, whatever it is, right here at the top. You're going to see how much is coming from a product bonus, how much is coming from a kicker, right? Which we define as a bonus on top of a bonus, right? Maybe you get paid more when you write more financial services. Oftentimes you're going to see that in the kicker. Maybe you're paid a flat bonus based on a set amount of apps that you write. You're going to see that in the kicker. So that's what that kicker is. If you have any activity bonuses, you can see that there. Chargebacks, you'll see it right there. And then this is what your total bonus is going to be. Then you can see it by product line, auto, fire, life, health. And if you do some bank, you can see that as well. And then you can see actually which policies you're paying and how much you're getting paid per the policy. What's the goal here? The goal is transparency. You know what you're paid and why you're paid it, because you see what level you achieved. If you had chargebacks, you can see which policies charge back, so you can go try to win them back. And for the agent, it saves them a ton of time. No more Excel spreadsheets or calculated on a piece of paper or hoping another platform is correct. It's going to be right here. They're going to see it, and they're going to quickly be able to run their bonus and commission. If you see a problem in one of your policies, you don't have to remember the name, go back to the sales page. Just click the name of that sale, and the sales form pops right up, and it allows you to issue premium, to change the premium and any of the information in here. If you pop up a policy and it's grayed out, you can't change anything. That's because an agent or an admin has locked that sale, and you will need to request for it to be unlocked before you can change it. We have a couple other tools I'm not going to dig into right now. We have a bonus estimator, which is right here. You can go run some what if statements. You know, what if I do this much premium and these many apps? How much would I get paid? Based upon your comp plan, you'll be able to use the bonus estimator to see how much you're going to be paid. Again, I'm not going to go into it today, but that's where you would see it as well. If you believe your bonus is not calculating properly or something's wrong, first go talk to your agent. Make sure that it's you know, that you haven't like not hit a minimum or something like that. Or it could also be an error. There could be something wrong with how we've coded the system. If that happens, we encourage you to go click bonus issue. That will ask you 4 or 5 questions that will allow our support team to be able to see what's wrong with it. Now, when our live chat goes back online in the next day or so, you're going to see a live chat button. You can also live chat with us, but just know that that team member of mine is going to have to ask you the same 5 questions. So you might as well hit bonus issue, do that. And if you want to chat afterwards, if you have a couple other questions, you can always hit chat. But do know that sometimes bonus issues take a few hours to fix up and to figure out, right? So it's not like you're going to submit things there and then they're going to have the answer right away in live chat. But we just want you to know how the process typically works. One more thing, a really important thing I want to show you. So now that you see where your bonus is calculating, you can go here to your bonus dashboard. And we have a widget here called Level Up. Now, I know Chelsea just talked about that in the chat, but let me load this. Let my dashboard load for a second. And we have a widget here called Level Up. And this is really neat. It's going to look at your bonus plan. And hey, Chelsea, make sure it says my internet connection is a little unstable. Can you tell me if I'm like frozen in a weird place? Can you tell me that, Chelsea?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, cool. I mean, nobody needs to see my face freeze framed or whatever they call it.
Those are the best.
And they're always like the absolute worst. They're the worst. So here on Level Up, we call these little mini reports widgets. There's one that your agent can put on their dashboard called Level Up. And it's going to show what your current commission and bonus is. And then it'll show what you need to do next to get to the next level of your plan and how much your commission could be if you hit that, right? So it doesn't work for every single plan, but it does work for most, where you'll see what your current commission is, what you need to do next, and how much that commission will be once you do that. Now, you can also click unissued policies and see how much money is coming your way once all of your policies that are not issued, issue. Does that make sense? All right, so that is level up. Okay, again, I'm going to hold off on the questions just for a second. I know Chelsea's answering those in the chat, but I want to cover one more big section. Again, for team members, we want to keep it simple first. We know that learning a new system is hard. So FrontRunner can go deep for a lot of things, right? So I'm just trying to show you the most high level things. So obviously how to clock in and out, how to put your sales in, how to look at your bonus, and then how to use your dashboard, right? So these are all the little reports. And we hope that you come in here every day, team members, so that you can see how you're doing versus the goals that your office has set for you. Because most often a lot of people, a lot of agents will have like policy or premium goals for you, and you can see how you're doing versus the goals they set. This is the one thing I found out. Listen, I'm not an agent. I'm not a team member. I've never sold insurance. I feel like I could be a pretty good team member. You know, if I ever get fired, maybe one of you agents will hire me. I'm in Kentucky, but I can travel. But what I do know about selling insurance is that it is a numbers game, and most team members want to do the right thing. They just sometimes lose track of their goals, right? Because I would be the same way. Well, FrontRunner's reports are there for you to see your goals and to hit them over and over and over. And a lot of it's just knowing where you currently stand. So you can see that in these little mini reports. I'll get back to time tracking in a minute. So maybe you have a report that you can see your sales versus other team members. We have a report called Trend, which I love this report. Agents, if you don't have this on your dashboard, we got to get it on your dashboard. I will show you how to do it in our next section together. But team members, you will see, for instance, you will see, well, Bruce Lee's not doing anything. All right, but Michael, you will see what you're currently trending for the month. What this is going to do, it's going to get a daily average production for you, and then it's going to multiply it by 20 or 21 days to see if the rest of the month continues as this month has gone on. Here's how much money you would make, right? So it's going to show you what you're trending towards. Excuse me, not money, excuse me. This is how much premium you would issue. And then these are how many policies you would do. And then what percentage above or below your goal is, and what you're currently at, and what percentage of the goal you're currently at is. So this is great to be able, because we're right now at February the what? The 9th, is it the 9th already? We're at February the 9th. And so you can see, okay, if my production continues as is for the rest of the month, this is probably where I'm going to finish. So you can either be really encouraged to keep on going, or you can be encouraged to say, hey, I got to pick it up a little bit because I want to finish with a little bit better production. So that's what Trend is. Agents, I'm going to show you how to put that on the dashboard. And we have other reports and data analyzers, and you can see where your sales are coming from source type wise. We have leaderboards, which a lot of agencies love. You can compete against your team inside the office, or you can see how you compete globally against other team members and other agencies across the country, right? And I think the majority, probably 99% of you, are State Farm. There might be one outlier or two that's not, but most of them are going to be how you compete against other State Farm agencies across the country. We even have state leaderboards. So you may not want to compete against team members from, 40 states over. There's not even 40 states in a row, from 15 states over, but you'd be really interested in seeing how you're doing versus other agencies in your state, right? And with almost 1,200 agents using our platform, there's definitely agents in every single state that you can be on a state leaderboard with. So the very last thing, team members, I'm going to show you is activities, which is the third biggest part. Again, insurance is a numbers game, right? And so the big idea is that if you just put in the daily wins, the daily numbers, to make your calls, get your quotes, ask for the referrals, what happens is that production will follow. And so the activity trackers are there for you to help track your daily activity. And the same as putting in sales, we encourage you to do that as you go throughout the day. Don't wait till the end of the day or the end of the week to be able to see the production, to be able to end your activities. Do it as you go through the day. And you simply do it by hitting these plus or minus buttons. I did a quote, boom, hit the button. Calls, I don't like to do those one by one. That would drive me crazy to do those. But sometimes every couple hours, I'll say, yep, I made 15 calls this hour. You can look at your call report and then add that. The goal is to close all of these rings every single day. Some of your activities might have a badge by them. That means they require a note. So you could add a source type by that note and say, yeah, I just did a quote for Susie. Call back tomorrow. And you can even set a reminder to call Susie back tomorrow, and FrontRunner will remind you to call Susie back. We're not trying to replace your CRM, right? But this is just another way to be able to keep everything organized and just to remind yourself. So we encourage you to be logging those activities as you go throughout the day. Some of you will have a bunch of activities. Some of you might have one. It really depends on your agency, but we encourage you to go through these every day. And the goal is to try to close all of your rings. Your agent, your office manager knows what it takes to be successful. And so I always encourage you, don't focus on the bonus. I know that sounds weird, but don't focus on the bonus or the commission. Just focus every day on closing your rings, doing the activities that it takes. And what you will find is that you will get the commission and bonus you're looking for because you close those rings. Also, a lot of your bonuses, especially if you're a service team member or someone in retention, a lot of your bonus is going to be attached to these rings, right? So like, you might get paid per the quote, or you might get paid for the BOD task completed. You might get paid for getting the Google review. A lot of your bonus is tied right to these things, right? And then you can see it daily, weekly, or monthly. Okay, so that's all we're going to show teamers today. We do have an advanced team member training that maybe we'll do that next week, digs into a few more things, but these are the things that you need to do to get started and use FrontRunner really, really well. I've got a bunch of stuff for agents I want to cover in the next segment, but do I have any questions from team members about entering sales or clocking in and out or understanding your bonus or logging activities? Chelsea, do we have any questions from that?
Not really from team members. We do have a few questions just surrounding activities and things. Like someone was asking how long it takes each month to enter activities.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, let's
I kind of touched on them.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I kind of touched on most of them, but I wasn't sure if you had mentioned. I was typing. I apologize. The note feature or like the source type within the activities.
Yes, I did cover that. Yep.
You did. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So, all right, team members. Hey, again, I can't tell you, you can log off if you want, you can stay on, but we're going to pivot now to speaking directly to agents. So agents, we're going to start talking about some real important things for you to do, especially as you get started with FrontRunner. I know some of you have been with FrontRunner for a long time. So this might just be a great refresher for you. Also, we can take any kind of questions. So team members, thank you all for joining. Go crush it. You reach out if you need anything from us. But man, we are here rooting for you. And I know this sounds trite, but we really are rooting for your success in your agency. So team members, thank you. Go get started, get FrontRunner loaded up. And if you need any help, you reach out and let us know. So sound good? Okay. So Chelsea, make sure we keep some of those questions in queue. I want to answer for agents. I know we've got some team members kind of jumping off here, but I do see one question. Is there a way to watch this over again? The answer is yes. I'm recording it. We're going to put it out on our Facebook group. Additionally, we do have we have an agent training and a team member training recorded down in our help articles. So, because I know I'm going real fast. I know it's like drinking out of a fire hydrant. I get it. But you can find all of this right here in the help articles. So they're down there as well. Okay. So let me jump into for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, jump into some agent portion of this. Agents, I can speak directly to you. Again, I can't tell you how grateful we are that you trust us with your agency. And we do not take that lightly. And again, like I said, at the very start, we're especially grateful as you've been amazingly patient. As honestly, we've just experienced a ticket and call volume like we never anticipated, and that's good, right? That's agents changing their plans, asking questions, and boy, we want to serve agents amazingly, right? And so we are in the process of continuing to grow our support team. Our support team is already phenomenal. Can't tell you, working 12 hours a day, knocking stuff out. They amaze me every single day. But even at that, It still took us a long time to get to some things, right? So we're doing some more hiring because our goal still is, we want you to know this, is that when you need help, you shouldn't have to wait. And while that took a little longer the last few weeks, we are ruthlessly dedicated to that, right? So so just know that, just from day one, we're going to continue to hire as FrontRunner continues to explode and grow, but your level of service should never ever change, right? So just want to say that to you. Thanks again. But yeah, let's jump into some agent features, right? And so we can answer a whole bunch of questions, but I really did want to cover 3 or 4 really important things, right? So the first thing I want to cover is the time clock and PTO. So we probably have more questions around time clock and PTO than anything else. And so what we encourage agents to do is when it comes time to run your payroll, get your hours and take them over. Again, if you don't use this for your agency, don't go anywhere because we're not going to be on it very long. But the best way to do it is not to filter here and get an amount. Why? Because the PTO is not broken up here. It includes the PTO hours here, but it doesn't say their PTO. The best place to go get your hours is going to be over here on the time clock report. So click the time clock report, click what the hours from and to, right? So if I go back, again, you can make it for however you want. You can then see your team members' clock-ins, how many were overtime, how many were PTO, and how many of the total were. This is the best place. And then you can export this as well to Excel. And then you can even save that report as well. Most agents will run that report, and then they will take that over to their payroll system and put the hours in. Super easy, super clean. If you see a little orange note here that says approve PTO hours, that is really important before you run your time clock report, because it will not include unapproved hours in that report if you run it while you still have ones pending. So make sure you do that. That's a big question that we always get. Another question that we get a lot is your PTO hours. It does include, when it comes time for those hours to hit, it does include them in their regular hours. So if you're calculating overtime, yes, it will go against their overtime hours, right? So if your team member is out for 8 hours in a week, they worked 33, it's going to show them as having 1 hour of overtime. So just a heads up for that. Also, we've had a lot of questions on not approving PTO, but adding it in. You can always add more PTO time right in this available PTO time widget by just clicking manage and then adding the days or hours right into this. Another big question we've gotten, especially at the turn of the year, and then I'm going to move on, friends, is your PTO does not carry over year to year at this time. It's going to reset back to your PTO settings that you set up in agency setup for each team member. So regardless of what you put in here for your team, all right, and we even try to put a little note here at the top, at the turn of the new year, it's going to reset it back to your default. I will tell you that we are working on that right now as a development team, because we know a lot of you let your team roll PTO time over. So I do anticipate by the turn of the year next year that we will have that setting that will allow you to roll PTO time over. But just know that right now it doesn't do that. Okay, so let me, any questions on time clock PTO before I go over talk about how to run your first bonus and commission? Yeah, so I do see a question. Is there a way to add paid holidays? 100%. What we encourage you to do is to add those into a bucket, right? So I would create a new category name called paid holiday and hit save. I mean, you could get real granular, right? Like you could say Thanksgiving and give everybody 1 day or 2 days, right? You could put in there Christmas, whatever you want to do, right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come down here with that new category. You see where that new category has been added. Now I'm gonna go down here under manage, and I'm gonna then add for that category name. So I've got a lot of categories in here right now. Donald Duck. I'm sorry, here it is. I've got now paid holiday, right? So now I can say, yep, for that paid holiday, you get 3 paid holidays and hit save. Then that will allow them to deduct that paid holiday. So that's
I
a
also,
great question. Go ahead, Chelsea.
I was gonna say, I also wanted to add to what you mentioned. I've been recommending that for like any of the PTO that was rolled over that maybe you had to enter, like having that second category labeled, 2022 rollover or 2022 versus 2023 PTO.
Yeah.
Just wanted to add that. And then we did have a question as well.
Yep, great. And so, okay, great question. We have another question. Can we have it designate on a certain day? So the answer to that is yes, kind of, right? But you have to do it team member by team member. So if you're going to give every team member Christmas Day off, you would need to go and add a day for Christmas Day in their available PTO. And then you would need to put that request in for them for the 25th. Then when the 25th comes, it will add it on to there. Again, that's another thing we are working, because when we launched FrontRunner, we actually never thought that the PTO time clock would be that big of a deal, because it was kind of a side note. But we found out that agents loved it and they rely on it. It let them cancel another subscription. So we have, as the years have gone on, added more and more and more features to this. So the ability to automatically add days without having to put it in the matrix, being able to let them leave notes and see notes on stuff, all of that is definitely under consideration. And as improvements roll out to our time clock and PTO, that will roll out as well. In fact, I will tell you, over half of what FrontRunner is because agents have suggested it, because we listen, we're changing. It makes us different than all the other platforms, is that we're consistently changing and adding new things based off your suggestions. So anyway, that's that. But yeah, so those are some of the most basic things for time clock and PTO. I do want to move on real quick, because I know I want to honor your time. There's a couple more sections I really want to get to. And so the first, and again, I'm going to stay on after, so I can answer questions for another 20 minutes after it's over, but is the bonus page, right? So for a lot of you, you're just getting ready to run your first payrolls, or you've not done that yet. And I get it. It can be daunting. And so our goal here is to help you to run payroll in less than 30 minutes. That's our goal. It's not for it to calculate and then for you to have to manually calculate it, because what point is that? If you're having to manually calculate commission and bonus, why do you need a program, right? We don't want that for anybody. We want you to have a ton of trust and faith in FrontRunner that it's calculating correctly. In saying that, let me tell you, it does sometimes take a month or two to make sure that your bonus and commission is correct, because every agent pays differently. And so how you submitted your plan and how our build out team interpreted that might be a little bit off. So I just encourage you the first couple of months to double check things and then to reach out if it's not correct, so we can work with you to make sure that it is correct. Now, let me give you a really important note to that. The number one question that we get is, Adam, can we schedule one-on-one time with you all? All right. And the answer to that is this. Now, I'm really not circumventing it. We ask that you call us. You reach out when you're ready to talk. We do not schedule typically one-on-ones. And the reason is because we want to make sure FrontRunner continues to stay the most cost-effective system. And when we used to schedule one-on-ones, we would have almost our entire team scheduled for one-on-ones all day. And then what happened? The agent that needed a password reset it took them a day to get that password reset. So we had to take some calculated steps and to say, hey, why don't you start a live chat or call us when you're ready to talk, right? And I will tell you, we can solve a lot of things through support chat, but I know a lot of you want to talk to somebody live, and boy, there's a lot of validity to that. The last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been very tough to get a phone call, just because we're trying to get through the amount of tickets. But know that should be the next day or two, our phone support will turn back on, so we're our live chat. And if you want to talk through your bonus and work through any things, I encourage you to call us. And our standard is that if all of our team members are on the phone, that if you call before 3 o'clock, that you will get a call back that day. All right. If you call after 3 o'clock Eastern, it might be the next day. So we just want you to know that we are committed to getting you the help that you need to get. But I will also say that oftentimes a ton of things can be solved over email or over a live chat. Again, if you just rather talk to somebody, that's really, really valid. And we want to make sure to serve you in that way. So that's the one-on-one question. We do have some premium support subscriptions that you can get that include scheduled Zoom support calls. You really get a front runner coach right in your corner. I'll be the first one to tell you, most of you don't need that because you can get all the support you need through our free support channels. But if you want like a front runner consultant corner dedicated, then we do have a subscription for that. You can find that in step number 1. I don't want to emphasize that too much. I'm not upselling anybody, but we do have a lot of agents using those premium subscriptions, and they found a lot of value, right? So give us a call and we can talk about if one of those premium subscriptions. I think one is $249 a year and one is like $599 a year. And that's outside of the monthly subscription. But again, most of you don't need that. Our regular support is phenomenal. It's the best in the industry, and you don't need it. Okay. So this is the bonus. And so when it's time to run your bonus, again, I know I want to make sure to honor our time. And you're going to see this bonus. The goal is that you're probably running your bonus for the previous month, right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to get in here whenever it's time to run. Let's just say that you run your bonus on the 20th for the month before. That's pretty common, or the 5th for the month before. So the big difference in FrontRunner and every other platform is that FrontRunner keeps your bonus and commission in real time. There is no run payroll button. There's no initiate payroll if you're coming from like a racing snail or something. FrontRunner's smart enough that it keeps it in real time. So when you come to the bonus page for any particular month, that is actually what you owe your team member for that month. So let's just pretend like it's January the 20th, and you're ready to run commission. I tell you what, let's go back even further. Let's pretend like it's December the 20th and you're ready to run commission for November. All right, so you're going to come to the bonus page right here. You're going to select November. All right, and then you're going to select each individual team member and see what you owe them. You'll see how much product, kicker, chargebacks. You'll see all of that right here. You'll see how much you owe them per product line, and then what policies that you're paying. Again, the first couple months, we encourage you to go check all of this really, really closely just to make sure that it's calculating how you need it to calculate. After that, our biggest hope is that it'll be perfect and right. And all you got to do is click each team member, see how much you need to pay them, take that number over to your payroll system. Now, you can also click on financial payouts, select your payment date, which I'm going to pretend like we're running November's commission. So I'm going to select December the 20th. Back up. I think I actually have this configured for the 5th. The 5th. And then you can see all of your bonus and commission right in one nice organized list. And then it's easy to export that, give it to your accountant, or put it into your payroll system. But again, we encourage it. We hope it takes you less than 30 minutes to run payroll commission. When it's time to run it, click on your bonus, click on the month that you're paying, and click each individual team member, and you'll see exactly what you owe them and why you owe them that. And just like a team member, if you see a problem, please, especially over a couple months, please reach out so we can work with you to see where if there is a miscalculation involved in it. But really, agents that have been with us for 4 and 5 years now, it's perfect. It runs great. They know it's exactly what, and it motivates your team because it calculates in real time. So when it's time to close out the month, guess what? There's no button you have to click. I mean, you can click paid and locked and hit submit, but it doesn't really run payroll because payroll runs all the time. All right. So a big question we get is, Adam, what happens to policies that aren't issued? Hey, based upon your settings, they're gonna kick over to the next month, right? If you offer a grace period, we can set up a grace period. So you can say anything written in the month of December and issued before the 15th of the next month, I want to include it on this payroll. We can set it up for you. We can set it up for you to say, nope, I just want to pay everything that issues. And if it doesn't issue by the end of the month, it'll get kicked to the next payroll period. We can set that up for you. There's nothing you have to do personally to get policies to push to the next month or to be included in this month. They will just do it by your settings, and we can do multiple things. We can even do a paid once issued. So you can have things from a previous month recalculate on things that issued in future months, right? So you might tier up on issued life, right? And, you know, by the end of the month, they only qualified for tier 1 because all their life hadn't issued. So you pay them that amount. You can totally set it up to where month 3, when all those things issue, it's going to go back and recalculate the policies and pay them an additional amount. It's kind of messy. I don't encourage agents to pay that way, but I know a lot of you do, and that's okay. We can totally do that inside of our settings. And most of you should have already had that question asked in your setup. All right, if you haven't, reach out to us. We're certainly happy to help. Now, I know we have a lot of questions coming in. Again, I'm going to take a bunch of questions at the end, but I know a lot of agents need to run at 2 o'clock. So I want to show one more thing, right? So that's your PTO, and this is your bonus, how to run your bonus page. But I want to know is that on your dashboard, you'll see all of your reports, and a lot of you may not have these reports. I want to tell you something. 99% of the questions you ask are going to be found in one place. If you don't remember anything else from this training, please remember this. Write it down. Please write it down. This is so important. If you want to change anything on this dashboard, add a team member, change your goals, modify your sales form, it's going to be found in agency setup, step number 2. 99% of the things that you're going to want to change are going to be right here. This includes adding a new team member. We get that. So it's so common. Can you add a team member for us? Sure, we're happy to do it, but you can do it, and you can do it really, really quickly. Watch how easy this is. Come over here and click New Team Member Wizard. Check that out. It's going to guide you step by step on adding that new team member, and it's going to ask you which bonus plans to assign. Now, I know a lot of you don't know how we named your bonus plan, so guess what we did? Inside the wizard, it's going to say, whose auto plan do you want it to be assigned to? And it's going to say same plan, because most often you're like, hey, assign it to the same plan John's on. That's exactly how our wizard works. It's going to say, whose plan do you want to be assigned to? And it's going to say, assign it to John's plan or Susie's plan or Matt's plan. You're going to be able to do that right here in the wizard. And at the end of the wizard, they're going to be assigned to all their activities, all their bonus plans. There was even a button to email them their username, password, and a training video. So adding team members is super easy right here. Again, we're always happy to do it for you, but you can probably get it done a lot quicker by just walking through the wizard. All right, this is also where you add tracking items, right? Those activity wheels, you can add those right here, put them in goal plans, and assign those goal plans to your team. Now, we are going to do an advanced agent training next week, where we're going to dig in and really do more of a workshop type thing on modifying these sections. But we even have like custom email reports that you can build and send yourself. And this is where you update your agency goals, sales goals, either by team member, by office, by product line, and obviously update the agency goals as a whole. Right here, again, agency setup, step number 2. If there's anything you do, go check out that step, because so many of the things on FrontRunner are self-service right inside of there, including your dashboard. Most of you will have a dashboard called default dashboard. This is where you can modify how your dashboard looks. Again, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty, but you can click edit and check it out. You can move things around on your dashboard. You can create new rows by hitting add row, and say you want to have 3 columns in that row, and then you can add 3 new widgets or 3 new reports. We have like, I think over 40 reports that you could put on your dashboard, including what most people don't have is trend, which is you can click add widget, go find your trend, which your faces are covering it up, sorry. You go find the trend widget, which is right here, and hit save, and then add that trend, and then hit save at the top, and you can add that trend widget to your dashboard. I know it sounds easy when I talk about it, because I've been doing it for years, but just know that you can modify that here, as well as a bunch of other settings, including what leaderboards you want to be on, You can do little announcement things at the top and how to modify your application layout. The cool thing is we have tutorials on all this stuff right down in our knowledge base, which is at the bottom footer. You can read and actually watch videos on how to do most of this stuff, but we are going to do a live training as well next week. We're going to go real deep for agents in each of these sections, right? And it'll be just for agents. It won't be for team members. It can be for like an office manager or something. But hey, this is also the place, sorry if you get scroll sickness, where you can go to specific team members and give them special permissions, right? So if you want a Donald Duck to be able to say, write and issue sales for other people, maybe in your office you have an app checker, you can go to Donald Duck, click edit, and then click manage permissions right there. And then you can give Donald permission to do whatever you want him to do or not do. And this is going to be true for all of your team members. Okay. Again, everything else is going to be right here on your dashboard. I know this is a ton of information. Over 40 of you have stuck around, so thank you for that. We do have a full reports page. You can go check that out. But I always encourage agents is that FrontRunner, we want to have a relationship with your agency. And that kind of sounds weird, doesn't it, Chelsea? But we do. We want to be your partner, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. Right. And so don't feel like you have to know everything right now. If you're new, I encourage you to focus on the basics, getting the sales form down, understanding the bonus page, knowing how your team's clocking in and out, and then reading some of the reports, setting up your goals, which you can do where can you do it? Agency setup, step number 2. 99% of everything you need is going to be right there. So let me answer one more question, and then that'll be the bulk of the training. I'm going to sit on for another 15 minutes and answer questions. But let me show you one thing. On agency setup step number 2, you do have access to step number 3, which is where we build your bonus plan. Let me give you a real strong encouragement. I would not, if I were an agent, waste my time in this area. Here's why. Is because when we built FrontRunner, true story. I was the original developer of FrontRunner 5 years ago, right? And that was before my role changed to be more of a talking head sort of service guy. But I thought there were going to be like 6 bonus plans that people could use it at State Farm. I was so wrong. Right? There were like 19,000 plans, and everybody's plan was different. And so we had, I'm getting laughed at. It's true, man. It unbelievable. Like plans I never even thought of. Like if you hold your head this way, you'll get 5%. If you hold your head this way, you get 8%. So we built a system that can handle almost every single kind of plan: points, validators, kickers, accelerants, buckets, Wheel of Fortune, whatever you want, right? Almost FrontRunner can figure it out, right? So that means this builder is really, really complex. I mean, really, really complex. So I always encourage you as agents, allow us to do the heavy lifting in step 3, because this can really mess up your bonus. It can confuse your team. So I say, man, allow us to serve you in this way. Allow us to build out your plans, that kind of thing. You do have access to it, but I would encourage you to let us do it. Now I know it's taking a little bit longer to get support. You might be tempted to get into step 3. And I promise you, we are full court press, getting back to the service standards that you've expected and loved for so long. So, okay. Agents, again, thank you so much. Again, we're going to have a deeper training next week and get really deep into some special places, but I'm going to honor your time if you need to head out at 2. But hey, Chelsea, I'm ready to answer some questions. Hey, I can be on here another 15 minutes. So I'm willing to answer you. So you stick around. I'd love to answer some questions. Oh, if you've not joined our Facebook page, please go do it. Go search FrontRunner Community on Facebook. Ask to join. We're always talking shop there, rolling out new features. We have some new stuff coming out as well this year. So that's where you're going to find out first about it, in our FrontRunner Community Facebook. So, okay, Chelsea, what kind of questions?
Let me see.
We
do have.
Go ahead, Chelsea.
I'll go. No, you go ahead.
No, I just see a question. Can team members customize their own widget layout? That's a great question. Team members right now, cannot customize their dashboard, right? You have to do it. However, we are changing that. We are changing that. You can give them permission to change their own dashboard, and pick their own widgets and stuff. They won't be able to change their own goals and stuff, but they can change how their dashboard looks. So just letting you know that is on the way. Great question. Other questions, Chelsea?
Let's see.
Anything else I can? Yeah, go ahead, Chelsea. Sorry.
I was gonna say the sales by team member, the graph, but I think that's just a different widget that he needs to have. So I think hopefully that answered Ricky's question, but.
Got it. Yep, that makes total sense. Other questions? I see a question here about renaming bonus plans. I guess you've already done that, Chelsea. You've already answered that question.
Yep. I think that's why I was trying to look back. I think I answered most of them, but if anyone wants like anything in more detail, obviously just type it up and we'll cover it.
We'll cover it totally. Yeah. Hey, so while we're waiting on a couple of those, just letting you know, agents, we do have word tracks, which are right here on the dashboard. And so you can click on those word tracks, and we've got 35 to 40 pre-built tracks that your team can use. I would go read them. You can edit them for your agency, right? So these are great for new team members to use on a sales call. They might be a little bit nervous, not sure what to say. You can create a word track or edit one of our existing ones that your team members can use. And it's got built-in objections and pivots right there. We even have a global share, so you can go search what other people are doing that are willing to share and pull it into your word tracks. I see a great question. How can we remove the PNC section from the actual versus goal widget? That's a great question. So a lot of you on your dashboard are going to see PNC up here at the top. You see that? And you may not want to see PNC because PNC is just combining auto and fire. No problem. Here's how you're going to do it. You're going to go to where? Agency setup. Chelsea, where? Step number?
Step 2.
2, right? 99% of everything you need is in step number 2. We're going to go to step number 2. All right. And then we're going to scroll down to our custom dashboard section because remember, it's a widget on the dashboard. So we're going to scroll down to our custom dashboard section. And we're going to click edit by the dashboard that we want to edit. And we want to take it off of this widget. So we're just going to click on edit. Oh, sorry. Nope. We're going to click on setting. And up here, show fields, PNC, auto, and fire. We're going to say show PNC only. No, excuse me, show auto and fire only. And hit save. And then make sure to hit save again. So now when we go back to the dashboard, boom, you're going to see PNC gone. So that's going to be true for a lot of your widgets. If it shows PNC, auto, and fire, and you don't want to see those all together, you can go to the customized dashboard and turn that stuff off. So great question. Another question, if we are part of Trophy Club, can we have the dashboard set up like they have it? That's a great question. A lot of you are from Trophy Club. Again, we're big fans of Trophy Club. We promote Trophy Club. They promote us. So the answer is yes, you can set your dashboard up exactly like Trophy Club. We don't have any pre-built sort of named. That's actually a good idea, Chelsea.
I actually thought that I had Michael working on that, but I'm still waiting to hear back.
That would be really cool to be able to like have a global share for dashboards.
Right.
And to pull in a dashboard of some other agent that wants to share, that's willing to share. So maybe we had a maybe, you wanted the same dashboard as like Hunter Wyant from Trophy Club. You could, if he shared his dashboard configuration, you just hit load it and it loads it on yours. That's a great idea.
I did know we kind of mentioned that too for like comps or activities too, like in the future, but I tried to have that show and tell at the bottom of our support tab, but not many people have used it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that.
I'm trying to steal that idea and not give anybody credit. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, some people's dashboards are really cool. They're really creative, and I don't know. It's almost like we should do like a dashboard competition thing or something.
That's right. Yeah. So Courtney asked.
So is that a yes?
That is a yes. Yes. So Courtney asked. Hunter said that we can call and set it up like Hunter's. The answer is yes, we can. right? Again, our phone support probably won't come up for another day or so, but you can submit a ticket, say, hey, can you set my dashboard up to be like Hunter Wyant's? And we're happy to do that, right? So we can go in there and configure it to be just like Hunter's. So it might take us a couple of days, but yeah, we're happy to do that. But we are working on an automated way to do that as well. So great question. So what else, friends? What else, friends? Everyone's on information overload. I know that. I mean, you're getting all of the information dump that me and the team have had for 5 years. So it doesn't seem overwhelming to us, but we know it seems overwhelming to you all as well. But any other questions? Great thing, Rick. So the agent call next week. I'm working on that schedule. I'll tell you what. Let's just go ahead. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, let me choose that date. Chelsea, let's put it on the schedule. Let's put our next agent training call, our deeper agent training call next Thursday. How about 3 o'clock Eastern? How's that sound? So that'll
Works
be
for me.
Yeah, that'll be at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to do a level 2 agent training session. And FYI, we will do our next team member basic training. This is basic training, not training number 2. This is just basic training again for team members. We'll do that next Tuesday on Valentine's Day. Maybe we'll do a special Valentine's game. I don't know. We'll do that. Let's do that at 1 o'clock next Tuesday. Sound good, Chelsea?
Yep. So Tuesday, 1 o'clock team, and Thursday, 3 o'clock agent. I'll go ahead and put it on the support tab too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So those are going to be our next training sessions. Make sure to check out for your email and those pop-up messages. We're going to try to communicate that really, really well. Any other questions I can help answer for anybody? I've got just about 2 minutes left. Again, at that next agent training call, again, we're going to do level 2, which is going to get real deep into some things, right? We'll actually show you how to create your own custom email reports. We'll show you how to add this really cool win the day widget at the top. We'll talk about how to customize your sales form and talk about how to set up data analyzers, which are really, really neat. I mean, you can go ahead and set them up now, but we'll show you some kind of tricks of the trade on how to use these data analyzers. So, all right, one more question, man. Trying to rearrange my widgets on the dash. How do I move only one of the widgets from a 2 column? That's a great question. So you actually can't drag an individual widget to another row. The best thing that you're going to want to do is what I like to do is if you're replacing a widget, just click on edit and choose that widget in the lineup and then delete the current one that you have, right? But know that you can't delete certain widgets from columns. You have to kind of delete the whole row. So it's super easy. Just create a new row, tell it how many columns you want, tell it what widgets that you want in there, and then just delete the row that you don't want. So if we pay different on raw new versus added, can that be detailed in the product setup? The answer is yes. That's very common that agents are going to pay a little bit more on raw new than they will an added car. We can do that all day, every day, right? Where we pay raw new 1% or 1 rate or 1 whatever. And then we pay your added car something flat, $5, $10, $15. Thumbs up, thank you very much. But you don't get paid for those kind of thing. We can even do that too. So, okay. Anything else I can help answer today? All right.
I would say too, Brandon, with the dashboard configuration, if you're not really sure, or maybe you want it to stay similar to what it is right now, I usually recommend duplicating it, and then you can always reference the old one in case for some reason you lose something that you liked and can't find,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can always duplicate it, and so that you can play around. Hey, go into step 2 and play around. We've put things in step 2 that you're not going to blow up your whole system in step number 2. Step number 3, you could totally blow up your whole system, right? So that's why I think you get my point on step number 3. So agency setup, step number 2 is going to be money for you. So, all right, with that, we're gonna end the call. Again, agents, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. We don't take your business lightly. We want to take really good care of you. So I look forward to seeing everybody on next week's call. If you have anything between now and then, shoot us a ticket. Our phone support again should be up in the next day or two in live chat. We'd love to help you through anything that you need. If you need to reach out to me personally, please do. It's adam@imafrontrunner.com. All right. I always say don't respond to the big group emails that I send, but you can totally one-off send me an email, adam@imafrontrunner.com. More than happy to talk to you personally as well. So again, thanks so much on behalf of everybody. We're grateful for you. Have a good rest of the day. Chelsea, thank you for joining. Nia, if you're on, thanks for joining us as well. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Have a great day. See you.